Hello, everybody. I wanted to take up the question of the interesting question of whether or not AMC is deliberately sabotaging the viewing experience of people who are coming to see the movie Sound of Freedom, which is a movie that the elites dislike, the liberal media dislikes, because the Rolling Stone and Washington Post and other stalwarts of the neo-lib, neocon mainstream are saying that this is a QAnon adjacent movie, and this is just a bunch of far right fanatics and so forth. Now, the movie itself is not about anything at all related to QAnon. It's not about anything at all related to pedogate, as far as predators in high places, predators, as politicians, high-ranking politicians, or high-ranking business executives, or entertainment industry executives, or anything like that. This is the movie does not touch on that at all. It's about child kidnapping and child trafficking rings happening primarily south of the border, primarily in the country of Colombia. So the whole making this about QAnon is kind of a canard, except for the fact that the film star Jim Caviezel, who has has been on the establishment's shit list since 2004 when he played Jesus Christ in Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ. If not for the fact that he has expressed belief in certain aspects of QAnon, and he's talked about adrenochrome and so forth. But I mean, what an actor believes and what a movie is about that actor is starring in, those are two separate things, and that should be easy for anyone with a brain to make that distinction. Now, as far as the question of the alleged sabotaging of the movie experience by AMC, the AMC theater chain. What has been alleged in a lot of anecdotal, it's been alleged, exclusively anecdotally on social media and other places, the internet, but primarily social media. There have been patrons who have talked about how they went to see Sound of Freedom, and in their movie house, the air conditioning was off, so they sweated through the whole experience uncomfortably. Others talk about how they wouldn't turn the lights down. Others how the film apparently broke and or became unoperational, malfunctioned in some way. And they were told they could get a refund, and there's at least one person who claims that when after she, I think it was a she, bought a ticket online for Sound of Freedom, that she got this notice of that she had been charged with being a part of with being a child predator. She got this weird email or something, and it turned out to be, of course, bogus. But the question is, who sent it? Who was prompted to send her this email, if her story is true? So these are the kinds of things that people have said. The theater chain AMC has responded. And the head of the theater chain has denied that he's used the phrase conspiracy theory, which definitely irks me. It always gets on my nerves when someone uses the phrase conspiracy theory in a sort of ad hominem manner. I mean, he could have just said, we're not sabotaging this movie, and we're proud to be showing it, and we're proud to help the distributors of this movie. We're proud to be the distributors of this movie, and help this movie help audiences to see this movie. And he did say something like that. He pointed to the fact that in a ton of AMC movie houses they're showing this very controversial movie, and that's true. But he didn't respond to any of the individual anecdotal instances that have been given, and it seems there have been several, a lot given. I don't know exactly how many. That's a question that escapes me, because I don't have I'm not someone who has access to all of that information. The producers of the movie, the group, I think it's called Angel Movies or Angel Studios or something or something like that. They have spoken out they've said, we appreciate AMC and the other chains that are running our movie, and we've got nothing bad to say about them. Of course, that they're not going to attack the movie chains that are actually running their, letting the public see their movies. That would not be a good look for them. So they're taking the high road. But I think we're left with the question of could this be true? Could this be happening? Could people's movie going experiences be getting sabotaged because of powerful forces disliking this movie being out there? And I think it's possible. I think it's entirely possible. And there's all these kinds of things, like turning down the AC, turning off the AC, or stopping the film, or turning the house lights on, disrupting people's ability to experience the movie. I should say I didn't have any problem with that the time that I saw this movie. The AC worked, and the movie ran all the way through, and there were no problems at all. But these kinds of things, are well known among, shall we say, certain groups who make it their, who are highly placed and highly funded, and who make it their business to figure out how to mess with people's heads. These are the same kinds of, it was military intelligence who was behind, like when the forces invaded Panama, back in the 90s, and they were blasting loud music, heavy metal music outside of what's his name, Noriega's palace, and other higher ups. And they were doing the same thing with the Branch Davidians when it was an internal thing with the ATF in Waco, Texas. They were sitting there blasting. These boots are made for walking. One of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you. I mean, that obviously these are the kinds of tactics that they use. Blasting people with loud music, sneaking pornography into religious broadcasts, like some Israeli group did with on a Palestinian television station in the early 2000s. Making people uncomfortable, making people emotionally react, or making people feel frightened, or just making people annoyed or irritated. This sort of thing, they are studied in these tactics, and I don't see it at all implausible that they could be doing this kind of stuff given where we're at right now as a culture. You might say, well, it's just a movie. Who cares? Like, why would they care so much about getting in the way of people seeing this movie? Have you forgotten that it's 2023? Have you forgotten all the shit that's going on right now? Have you forgotten the fact that essentially the mainstream media has declared war on half of the country, and half of the there's domestic terrorism is pretty much all that the only kind of terrorism that there is, and that straight white conservative males are to be looked upon with suspicion, especially if they fly American flags or do this, that, or the other thing. Have you forgotten where we're at? Have you honestly forgotten all of that? Have you forgotten the atmosphere that pervades out there? I haven't. I can't forget it. It's I find myself surrounded by it every day. So, maybe it could be that all of this stuff is just accidental. And I've been to movies where things go wrong, and it just things just went wrong. And that I've been to a movie. Not that long ago, I saw a movie in a movie house where the AC wasn't working, and I was thinking, the AC's not working in here. But it wasn't Sound of Freedom. It was a different movie. It was a movie that I don't think there was any kind of controversy over. So it could be that all of these anecdotal stories are just, these people are telling the truth, but that it's just, it's just stuff that happened to happen, and it wasn't. There was no coordinated effort behind it. But on the other hand, this is a movie that's doing really well, and it was not supposed to ever have seen the light of day. And a lot of people are against it, and a lot of people who are very powerful don't like this movie. So I don't know. I am agnostic, finally, on these general questions, but there you have it. So what do y'all think? Let me know. Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching.